Tonight we are looking at the core expansion set for the Khymaera Shadowflame Shard for Warmachine. As normal, nothing really super interesting on the box. It doesn't look like there will be anything of note inside the box. It's like with all these MK4 boxes, they're pretty minimal, which I don't mind. Keeps the cost down, theoretically. Now, this box has a lot inside of it. You get the Warlock Rassic, you get the named character heavy Skylo, get a Quick Fang Stalker unit, a Quick Fang Windstriker unit, a Quick Fang Master Command attachment, a unit of Shadowmancers, and then a Shadowmancer Scion solo. So there is a ton in this box, and I'll go over all the unit cards after we look at the models as normal, so stay tuned for that. This video is going to be a bit longer than normal. Let's see if I can better light situated here. All right. Alright, well these guys are all one piece, love that. I've been gaming a long time and I don't mind modeling and the hobby part of the aspect, but every once in a while it is nice to just crack open a bunch of models and not have to build them. This person looks really cool, bounces on their tail. Yeah, that's a cool look. For sure. Now these Quick Fangs, I know it seems like people on the forums like them. I personally do not have a plan for them. In the list that I'm gonna run, seems like they have like anatomical precision and stuff like that to just do an automatic point of damage. But it seems to me, in my experience so far with MK4, there's a whole lot of multi-wound infantry out there, and I just don't hold too much stock in dealing a single point of damage, personally. But I could be mistaken on some things, so we'll take a look at the cards afterwards and do a little bit of a deep dive. All right, all good on that bag. This would be the Windstrikers, I believe. They got cool little blowpipes, right? They're definitely cool models. I don't dislike the models at all. Yeah, I mean, these guys are cool, for sure. Oh yeah, he's pretty sick. Crouching forward like that, holding that sword like that. Yeah, that is pretty cool. Great model. Great pose. Actually, no, he's up on a rock. No, that guy's up on a rock. Yeah, that's a super cool model. Like that a lot. Next box. Wow. Please tell me that's the This is the box I just opened. Next box was completely empty. Hopefully that doesn't mean I'm missing some stuff. All right, this would be Rasek, the caster, Warlock. Yeah, he's got a cool sword, cool sheath on the back. He's a pretty decent model. I'm not mad about it. Not planning on using them. But he's got a cool model. This looks like it will probably be Skyla. This is our 5-headed character dragon. Oh, is it only 3 heads on Skyla? How does this work? Oh no, there it is, the back piece. So basically, this is a Hydrix. And then the back piece on this adds the 2 additional heads. Makes a lot of sense. Then you have the main central head. You have the 2 small heads. This is a character, so you don't have the options. It just comes how it is. I guess I should have anticipated that, but I did not realize that it would literally be a Hydrix model. But that's cool. I'm not mad about it. So we still need a unit of Shadowmancers and a Scion. So hopefully that empty box, it looks like it was just a space filler. So far, so good. Yeah. So this person is pretty cool. All the different arms. The long snake-like tail. I want to find a place for this person in my lists. I keep putting them in, taking them out. I'm not quite sure if I'll use this person, but I'm definitely in my Nixian list is gonna have the whole snake theme. Well, let me just say, so I think it seems like my local meta may be shifting to 75 points as a focus rather than 100 for lots of different reasons. But I feel like in the 75 point list, I don't know that I have a room for the Scion. But in the 100 point list, it'll be in there for sure. And the Shadowmancers, again, with the snake tails. Super cool. Let's fit in like so. And these guys help with fury management. They have condition, they have heal. Pretty cool. Definitely useful support pieces when running beasts. And it looks like that is it. I think everything's present and accounted for. That one empty box was just a space filler. So stay tuned. I'll pull up the cards like always and go through this unit by unit and give my thoughts. Okay, first up we have Rasek, the Spawn of Shadows. He has 18 health. He has resistance to fire. He has Pathfinder. He's soulless. Speed 6, Arcane Attack 6, Mat 8, Defense 14, Arm 18, Arc 6, Control 12. He has Battle Plan. Options are Battle Formation while in his battle group and in his control range, and base to base with 1 or more models in his battle group. Friendly faction warrior models gain +2 armor, cannot be knocked down. Has Desperate Mission, range 5, target friendly faction warrior model. It gains Last Word. Last Word is if they are disabled by enemy attack, it can immediately advance 3 inches and make 1 basic melee attack. Has Precision Strike. While within 10 inches of this model, friendly models ignore other friendly models. When determining line of sight, friendly models can advance through other friendly models within 10 inches of this model if they have enough movement to move completely past them. And he has Sidestep. So for the battle plans, you know, I think battle formation is decent, denying knockdown, but most of this army ignores knockdown anyway, to be honest. Desperate Mission. On a friendly faction warrior model, you know, sure, you can advance 3 inches and make 1 attack before you die. You know, that's... I couldn't see myself using that one very often. Just a 1 basic attack off 1 little warrior model is probably not doing much. And then Precision Strike, that's pretty good, actually. Ignoring friendly models for line of sight and letting you move through them, just like a pseudo-ghostly kind of, for friendly models, that's a pretty decent ability. And then he has 1 weapon, Thanatos. Has range 2, POW 17, it's a magical weapon. Has critical decapitation. On a critical hit, you double the damage exceeding the arm of the model hit. And then you can't make a tough roll. Crit decap is actually really good. POW 17 on crit decap is pretty good. This guy, when he gets dice in his favor, he's going to be swinging for quite a bit of damage. So his feat is Wall of Fangs. While in his control range, friendly faction models gain Defensive Strike and Reposition 3. A lot of the army has Reposition already. Anyway, I'm just saying. Wall of Fangs lasts for 1 round. So Defensive Strike is good. Once per turn when an enemy model advances into and ends its movement or is placed in a melee range of a model with Defensive Strike, the model with Defensive Strike can immediately make 1 basic melee attack against it. That's pretty good. I do like that. It's friendly faction models, so it's not limited to just warriors. I think Defensive Strike is really good. Half of the Khymaera stuff already has Reposition. I guess that's a good bonus if you bring units that don't have it, but most of them are going to have it anyway. And then his spells, he has Death March, cost 3, range 6, upkeep. Target friendly faction unit gains +2 mat and Vengeance. And Vengeance is when somebody's damaged by an enemy attack during the last round. During your maintenance phase, you can advance 3 inches and make 1 basic melee attack. So, you know, Vengeance is a great ability. Flashing Blade, cost 1, range self. You immediately make 1 basic melee attack with 1 of your melee weapons against each enemy model and line of sight in your range. And for him being range 2, that's pretty decent. So if he's surrounded by dudes, he can just spam that spell for 1 each time, and he's hitting everybody. Good efficiency. And then Warpath. Cost 3, range self. It is upkeep. When a friendly faction model in your control range destroys 1 or more enemy models with melee or range attack during its activation, immediately after the attack is resolved, 1 cohort model in your battle group that is in your control range can advance 3 inches. And you can only do that once per turn. Well, each individual cohort can only move by that once per turn. You know, movement stuff's always good. I don't know how highly I rate that one, to be honest, but movement stuff's always good. But really, yeah, I don't know. He doesn't seem bad to me. Like I'm pretty lukewarm on his battle plans, to be honest. Precision Strike, I feel like, is the clear winner of that one. His feat is okay. It's pretty good. Defensive Strike, you know, on friendly faction models. His weapon's good. His mat's good. You know, the Flashing Blade's cute. He's definitely got some abilities. Being 14-18 with 18 health is okay. Definitely could be worse. Overall, I'm just pretty lukewarm on him. I don't think he's bad necessarily. I just don't really... He's not blowing my skirt up. Next model in the box is Skyla, the Abyssal Fury. This is our character heavy beast. 16 points is what it costs. She's got 30 health.
Let's see, she's soulless, she's resistant to corrosion, she has Pathfinder and dual attack, speed 6, mat 7, rat 6, defense 12, arm 18, 4 fury, 9 threshold, regeneration, so she can be forced to remove D3 damage points once per activation. Steady, can't be knocked down, and rejuvenating miasma. While within 3 inches of this model, friendly faction models gain concealment. And then friendly faction models activating within 3 inches of this model can immediately remove D3 damage points. You'll see as I keep going through this model, she is a healing beast. There is a ton of healing coming out from this model. And to be defense 12, 18, arm 18 is not super great, but with the amount of healing that she has, she's going to be around for a while. I definitely plan on bringing her in my Khyrax army. Melee weapons, she's got Ripping Jaws ×2, range 1, POW 12, Life Stealer. When an attack with this weapon destroys an enemy model, immediately after the attack is resolved, a friendly living faction model currently within 10 inches of this model can remove D3 damage points. So, you know, a POW 12, you're not going to be taking on beasts with POW 12, but you have 2 of those attacks. POW 12 is good enough to be killing a lot of the infantry, so again, just more healing with her. Her central head, she has Desolation Blast, which is a spray 10, rate of fire 1, POW 14, magic weapon with continuous effect corrosion. That in itself is pretty darn good, but it has the ability Transfiguration. Models destroyed by this weapon are removed from play, and you know the benefits of being removed from play. When an attack from this weapon destroys 1 or more enemy models, return 1 destroyed grunt to a friendly faction unit within 8 inches of this model. The grunt returns with 1 unmarked damage box. Place the grunt within 2 of another model in that unit. The returned grunt must forfeit its normal movement and combat action the turn it is put into play. That is awesome, in my opinion. Then Vorpal Maw, range 2, POW 18, also Transfiguration. And she has dual attack, so, I mean, you'll see it just keeps going. Like, she can bring multiple models back per turn. She can heal them with Life Stealer multiple times per turn. Whenever they start their activation within 3 inches, they heal D3 again. Just a ton of healing. Her Animus is excessive healing, so you gain rapid healing for 1 round. It costs 1 as a self range. When you're damaged by an enemy attack, immediately after attacks are resolved, you remove D3 damage points from it. You know, just phenomenal. And then that being another spell my caster can take, and in my case, I'm going to bring her with Khyrax, whose arm get way up there, and he's got a lot of health boxes, and he's already difficult to remove. So having excess healing on him, chef's kiss. So then another attack, she has the Horned Piercer on a smaller head, range 1, POW 16, but with critical armor piercing. So on a critical hit, you have the base arm stats of the model hit. That's pretty gnarly. I mean, armor piercing is great, everybody knows it, but POW 16 with armor piercing can put the hurtin'. Alright, second smaller head, Gnashing Fangs, range 1, POW 14. This has Mancatcher. A warrior model hit by this attack suffers -2 defense and cannot advance while within this model's melee range for 1 round. So just board control, you know, being able to affect people's movements is always good. So, you know, decent damage output, good Animus, great abilities, just a ton of healing. 16 points, well worth it in my opinion. So the next thing in this box is the Quick Fang Stalkers. Let's go here. You get 5 grunts, just single wound models for 7 points. They, let's see, have advanced deployment, they have ambush, Pathfinder, Soulless, Stealth, and Unstoppable. So these guys, you know, I don't super love ambush when you don't have ranged weapons. Let me just say that, because when you come in, you have to sacrifice either your movement or your action and your combat action. And so you're kind of just jumping out and just praying that you don't get shot. I would be advanced deploying them probably every time, personally, unless there was just some really opportune terrain or something I could stick them in on an ambush. But I guess that's neither here nor there. They're Mat 7, Speed 7, Defense 14, pretty decent, Arm 12, not good. They have Acrobatics. They can advance through other models if it has enough movement to completely move past their base. You ignore intervening models when declaring his charge target. And then you have Anatomical Precision. So if you fail to exceed the arm of the living model hit, you just deal 1 point of damage automatically. And then if you disable someone, they cannot take a tough roll. So again, like going back to Rassic with this army, like we just saw the beast that can't be knocked down, but then one of his battle plans stops you from being knocked down, and then the other battle plan basically gives you like ghostly amongst friendly models, but then this unit in the box has acrobatics. I mean, it's just a little redundant. Like, I feel like you're just granting abilities that you already have. So, you know, I guess that's just looking at this box, and like if you just bought this box to just play out of the box, I'm just not a huge fan of it. But their blades are range 1, POW 9. They have combo strike. They have 2 blades each. And that's combo strike. So you can sacrifice your 2 attacks to make 1 attack with +4 to put you to POW 13. So with Anatomical Precision, depending on your targets, it's better to just take your 2 swings and potentially kill 2 guys. I do appreciate the fact that they have combo strikes, so they have the option, if they're going against, you know, higher armor or multi-wound units, that they can do the combo strike as an option. I do appreciate that. So I can see the use for these guys. I can't say that I would be ambushing them very often, but I can see the utility in them. I don't currently have a plan for them personally, but I can see their utility. The next unit is going to be the Quick Fang Wind Strikers. So these guys, stealth, well, it's 6 points. You get 5 single wind models. They have stealth, they're soulless, pathfinder, dual attack, ambush, and advanced deployment. So, actually, let me make sure I'm not lying about that. I think the big arrow, yep, advanced deployment. So this is the ranged version of the previous unit. These guys have a blowgun, range 8, rate of fire 1, puncture on a direct hit. All models hit automatically suffer 1 damage point. And then critical shadowbind. On a critical hit, the model hit suffers shadowbind for 1 round, which means they get -3 defense and cannot advance for 1 round. And then they just have a regular blade that's range 1, POW 9. So you take these guys for their ranged option, and, you know, I can appreciate the fact that they still have a blade, because some models don't. It gives you the option to charge, or the option to just engage models to try to tie them down in melee. And they have dual attack, so they can do both, you know. But these guys, I probably would be ambushing, because they have the ranged attacks at least. And then I believe it's Shiras, one of the casters. Their feat is you automatically trigger critical effects. Maybe that's not the right caster. One of the warlocks in this faction. So the critical shadowbind is pretty decent on that. But, you know, pick your targets with these guys, right? If there's a juicy single wound unit on the flank and you can just ambush on top of them and wipe them out, that's what you want to be doing with these guys for sure. Pretty specific use case scenario, but, you know, when that situation pops up, you'll be happy to have them. Let's go. The Quick Fang Master, command attachment. This guy is 2 points, so super cheap. He only has 5 health. He can be attached to either the Quick Fang Stalkers or the Wind Strikers, both the units we just talked about. He has Unstoppable, Stealth, Soulless, Pathfinder, Dual Attack, Ambush, and Advanced Deployment. Speed 7, Mat 7, Rat 7, Defense 14, Armor 12. He has Acrobatics, just like the Stalkers. He has Anatomical Precision, just like the Stalkers. He has Sacrificial Pawn, Quick Fangs. So when he's directly hit by an enemy ranged attack, you can have one friendly non-incorporeal Quick Fang model within 3 inches of it directly hit instead. You know, not bad. Keeps him around. All the Quick Fangs have pretty terrible defensive stats, so it's an option to try and keep him around. He has a Blight Bomb, so this is why you bring him, I think. It has attack type, so well, first it's range 6, rate of fire 1, AoE 1, POW 12/6, and it is a magical weapon. So each time you use it, you choose one of the following types. 1 is Black Oil. Causes no damage. Instead, on a direct hit, models hit suffer blind for 1 round. And blind is really good. They cannot make ranged arcane attacks. They're -4 mat and defense. They can't run, can't charge, can't slam, can't trample. And they have to forfeit either their movement or combat action. Blind is awesome. The other option is Incendiary. It causes fire damage and models hit suffer the fire continuous effect. So if you're trying to go the whole fire route, that's another option. There is a lot of fire support in this army. And then the third option is Rust. Causes no damage. Instead, on a direct hit, constructs hit suffer -2 arm for 1 turn. So again, that's going to be very situational, dependent on whether you're even facing constructs or not. But -2 arm is pretty decent. And then he just has a range 1 POW 9 blade with Weapon Master. So obviously the thing here for this guy is the Blight Bomb. You know, I think I would probably be throwing him in a unit of Wind Strikers because they also have ranged attacks and you can ambush them in and actually shoot stuff. But I guess it depends on what you're actually facing too, you know. I currently don't plan on using any of the Quick Fangs. But now we go to the Wormspine Shadowmancers. So these guys, 4 points, you get 3 single wound grunts. They have stealth, they have soulless, they have pathfinder, speed 6, arcane attack 6, defense 13, armor 13. These guys are going to die real quick and without much effort. So you definitely want to be hiding these guys. They have apparition. During your control phase, they can be placed within 2 inches. You know, extra movement's always fun. They have magic ability, so they can do condition as an action. Range 6. Target a war beast. You can place a fury on or remove a fury point from it. And that's probably why they're going to be brought, for me anyway. Just to help with fury management with the beasts. Especially because like Kyrax doesn't have really high arcane. But they have a Flesh Eater attack, so it's a ranged attack option. On their magic ability, it's range 8, POW 10, arcane attack. If it destroys an enemy warrior model, you can remove D3 damage points from a friendly living model within 6 inches of this model. So it's another healing option. It's a ranged damage option, but then also has healing tacked onto it. And then it has guidance, range 6, target friendly model. If the model is in range, it gains eyeless sight, and its weapons gain damage type magical for 1 turn. That's really good. You know, situational, sure, but the ability to just throw a magic weapon out there against certain matchups is going to be phenomenal. And then they have steady. They can't be knocked down. So this is strictly a support unit, you know, but they have 3 pretty decent magic abilities. And, you know, just pick and choose which one you need at any given time, and then make sure that you keep them hidden and keep them safe, because they are fragile for sure. And then the last thing is the Shadowmancer Scion. He's cost 4 points. He has 8 health. He has Stealth, Soulless Pathfinder, Speed 6, Mat 7, Arcane Attack 7, Defense 15, Armor 13. So that 15 is way better than the regular Shadowmancers. He also has Apparition. He has Battle Wizard. So once per turn, when he destroys or removes from play an enemy model with a melee attack, immediately after the attack is resolved, it can make a magic ability, special attack, or special action. His options for magic abilities: he has Grip of Shadows. This model gains telemetry for 1 round, which other friendly models gain +2 to arcane attack rolls against enemy models within 8 inches of this model. Personally, I do not see myself using that one very often. I'm just not bringing a whole lot of arcane attacks. But it's an option if needed. His second option is Puppet Master, range 6, target friendly model / unit. If the target model unit is in range, you can have one affected model reroll 1 attack or damage roll, then it expires. You know, rerolls are always good. Then Stygian Abyss is the third option, is a range 10 POW 12 arcane attack. On a crit hit, the model hit suffers blind, which we've already gone over blind. Blind is really good. A range 10 POW 12 attack is okay. You're not able to boost it or anything, but the blind effect is decent. And then it's steady, can't be knocked down. His blades are actually pretty decent, I think. So 2 Shadow Blades. They are magical weapon blessed, range 1, POW 12, and they have critical Shadow Bind. On a critical hit, the model hit suffers Shadow Bind for 1 round, which means they have -3 defense and cannot advance for 1 round. So Shadow Bind is pretty decent. It's only POW 12, but it is blessed. And then magical weapons, you know, it's always good to have magical weapons in there. The Shadowmancer Scion, like I was saying when I was looking at the models, I don't know. I'm trying to fit one in there. At 100 points, I think I fit him in there. At 75, I just don't think I do. I just don't need telemetry. I don't feel like Puppet Master, a reroll. I mean, it's nice, but 4 points for that, I just don't know. Stygian Abyss, you know, I don't want to rely on critical hits, and just a POW 12 arcane attack is just not, you know, nothing that really excites me. So I'm pretty lukewarm on a Shadowmancer Scion. I want to fit him in the list just because I'm doing the snakes, and he's got a big snake tail. And that's about it on that one. But I think I went through the whole box at this point. So yeah, stay tuned. I think I do have another one I'll have up in a couple days for another one of the big Khymaera boxes.